little bit of fruit. Jesus said, you will bear much fruit. That means the closer you are to Jesus, the more evidence of his presence should show up in your life. And what kind of fruit are we talking about? Well, I'm glad you asked, because Paul answers it down in Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 and 23. We call it the fruit of the Spirit, but Paul simply said the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such there is no law. What Paul was trying to tell us is that if you want to know if someone is really abiding and connected to Christ, this is the fruit that you ought to bear. Love that's not conditional, joy that's not circumstantial, peace that surpasses understanding, patience that endures, kindness that's not selective, goodness that's consistent, faithfulness that doesn't waver, gentleness that reflects the heart of God, and self-control that doesn't give in to every impulse. Oh, yeah. That's the evidence. That's the evidence. It's not your title. It's not church attendance. It's not gifts, but fruit. Because hear me, titles can be bought. Attendance can wane. And gifts can be faked. But fruit is cultivated. A title can make you look important, but fruit makes you impactful. Attendance can put you in the room, but fruit determines if you bring transformation to the room. Gifts can impress people, but fruit blesses people. Gifts can be given in a moment, but fruit is grown over time. See, gifts are about ability, but fruit is about character. And let me push it even further. Gifts can function even when someone is disconnected from the source, but fruit only grows when you stay rooted in him. And I believe that there's a whole lot of people who operate in giftedness, but not fruitfulness. There are a whole lot of us who love the gift but don't want the fruit. Oh, yeah. That's why it doesn't matter what he or she lives outside of the sacred areas, as long as they tickle our ears and fancy what we believe, we are fine with how they live. But please hear me. You don't get fruit by faking it. You don't get fruit by forcing it. You don't get fruit by finessing it. You get fruit by being faithful. You get fruit when you stay planted and stay connected and stay devoted to the process. That's why Jesus said this conditionally: if you remain in me. If you remain in me. It's almost as if, Regina, he knew that people would look at this and run to fruit and want the end result, but they also did not recognize that as people, we are prone to wonder, Lord, I feel it, prone to leave the God I love. And so he said, if you remain in me, this is the result. And Dr. Tucker, I believe that for so many of us, we have lived in the if, but we want the result. We live in the if part. You have not remained. God knew you wouldn't be faithful, but you still want the fruit. That's why Willie was so attracted to the gift, because we will not sacrifice what it takes to stay and remain, but we are drawn to the gift. If you remain in me, you will bear much fruit. If you remain in me, not forced fruit, not fabricated fruit, not for show fruit, but real, lasting, undeniable